You know, when you're doing something, you can't really tell. So, like, it wasn't until I saw Rankin failing at driving that car at high speed through the water that I realised how tricky it was. And that's not to say doing the job's tricky per se, but I can't really reflect on something that's just occurred. I haven't seen Black Mirror, and I saw Warhorse once, but there's never been a time I've watched myself and gone, that's it, that was perfect. And part of me feels like it's a superstition. You know, like if I watched it and went, that's it, I'll never be able to perform again. But the fact that I was able, through doing Clash of the Titans 2, that I was able to do a fantastic low-budget feature with Spielberg. It actually was low budget, technically speaking, for what he does. And then to do Black Mirror, which was a great experience. And I really had to struggle for that. They kept telling me that I was too macho. I was like, they were like, yeah, we can't really see you as romantic. I was like, yeah, no, I'm only macho. I only drag women around by their hair. Dead Man's Shoes was the best time I've had, and I'm sure it probably always will be, because I got that 2 days before they started shooting. Shane asked me, we were originally doing a different film. We were doing a film called Skull, where Paddy played like a vigilante sort of care worker. He was a youth leader, and he'd go down and he saw a few problems, a few drug deals, a few, you know, young mothers with a bit of abuse, and that's the film we were making. And that's why I have a shaved head in the tram lines, is we were originally doing that. That got cancelled, so I really had egg all over my face. I'd gone and told everybody, and I was like, yeah man, I'm in a Shane Meadows film, and it got cancelled. But then Shane called me back and he said, we've tried to cast a really small role in it, but if you'd like to come in and do it. I came in, and all the way on the train I could not figure out how to do it. But I stole something off a chap I'd seen on a train. Every time he looked, he was reading a book. He's a handsome chap as well. He was reading a book, and every time he looked out the window, he did that, and I was like, I thought he's cracking on for his friends, surely. But he kept doing it, and the train got more and more empty, and I was like, man, that's his own tick. So I out and out robbed it. I stole that and went in and saw Shane, and then, you know, from the guys I, you know, met in my life who were autistic, I just based it off that. But it's not really the performance for me, it was the time I got to spend, you know, with Shane, sitting up at 3 a.m. in the morning when I can't sleep, and he, you know, I'm trying to have a sneaky cigarette, and he comes down and he can't sleep, and he makes us both beans and sausages, you know, and he says, do you want to watch the rushes? And didn't know what rushes were, and, you know, just the education I got from Shane, I'll never be able to forget. And I owe him a great deal. And he's very benevolent, Shane. He'll always be like, no man, you did that. And he'll probably say that with all of his actors, but it's not true. You know, he's one of the best actors, stroke directors I've ever met. He could act brilliantly well. And that ability helps your performance no end. So, yeah, I get a bit sentimental about Shane, because, you know, I miss him a great deal, and I just wish I could do all my films with him. But I can't, and yeah, but Dead Man's Shoes was, I felt like, man, it may never get better, and it's a jinx, but it's not at all. It's a great blessing, and I'm lucky to have ever had it.